welcome to Unapologetically Black. This podcast is a platform to express various topics and provide a safe space for my melanated people. I'm your host, Jessica Williams, and thank you for listening. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Unapologetically Black. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. I have two special guests with me here today, Vanaya and E. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves? Say a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Vanaya. I am currently a master's student at East Carolina University. I know you from undergrad at East Carolina University. We should drive the buses together before I got fired. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm 25 and I got a baby. She won. That's about it.
That's what's up. My name is Emmanuel Scott. Graduated with my bachelor's in art from North Carolina Central. That's actually how I met Jessica. She wanted to change sides or whatever. She ain't want to tell nobody that she leaving or
I'm
whatever.
glad you
Chill.
did.
So I'm like, yo, she just up and left. She came freshman year. Was like, yeah, it's time for me to go. I'm 29 now. As I said, I met Jessica at North Carolina Central. I have my bachelor's in art and psychology. Currently, I'm in finance. So yeah.
Good stuff.
That's
I'm
what's
glad to
up.
have you guys on. So, the topic for today is, should adult children pay household bills in their parents' house? So, we're going to get right into it. So, the first question is, of course, do you think that children should pay household bills?
No, they're a child. Let a child stay in a child's place. What is paying bills? You're gonna have to pay their bills regardless if they was there or not. So what's the difference between them paying it and you? Just pay it. Let them be a kid. It's already a hard life being black as a black man and female, and then having to add these bills on top of it at a young age. Like, no, just let them flourish and be who they are. Putting bills on them is like forcing them to go into the adult world early, and it's not easy. Adulting get hard, so I don't think a
Exactly.
child should have to pay bills. They're a child.
I agree. What about you, E?
So, so to me, that question is kind of broad, right? So when you say child, are we talking from like 0 to 12? Or are we talking from like 13 to 13 to 18 or 19 or whatever to where they're like teenagers, right? So I kind of have like two answers in a way. So my first is they're from like 0 to 12. No, they're kids. They shouldn't have to pay no bills. They kids, right? Kids should be focused on their school, learning, growing, things like that, maturing and so on. Now, I think in teenage years, you can start working, 15 years old? I think that's a minimum you start working, 13, 15,
16.
16. Right. So at 16. So as far as paying household bills, I would say no. But I feel as though if you're around 16 years old and you are working, I mean, you can take some of the ease off your parents. I mean, you can pay your phone bill or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're on like a plan with your parents, maybe give them a couple dollars for them, for them looking out. Because if you think about it, you're still with the child, you're still eating their food, you still using their light, you still, you know,
They supposed to provide that. They the parent. We didn't get asked to be brought into this world. What do you mean?
Okay.
They was gonna have
that's
that
true.
regardless.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. But eventually you have to teach your kids to be independent. Eventually, you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying they got to pay the mortgage. That ain't what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying. But I'm saying like once you should teach them along the way. So that's what I'm saying.
But
But
you
to
don't
answer
think
the
you can
question, no.
learn that? Like, you don't think they learned that from like having chores and responsibilities in the house? Because I was one of those kids where like I got a job because I wanted to get a job when I
Right.
was 17, not because I had to get a job. I got it because I wanted to get a phone and pay the bill. That's it. My
Right.
parents was like, if you want a job, you can get one, but you don't have to get one if you don't want to. And so I got one just to pay a phone bill. That's it.
Right.
And like that's the only bill that I had was my phone bill. And it's because I wanted to get the brand new iPhone.
Right.
And my mama then was like, "We're not paying for that. So if you want it, get you a job, you pay for it." But it's
Right.
not because I was forced to. I had to pay none of the bills. They didn't be like, "You need to pitch on the lights, you pitch on the Wi-Fi, you using it,
Yeah.
you doing
No.
that." They was gonna pay that
Mhm.
anyways, if I was there or not. So
Right.
that's how I'm like, and I learned the responsibilities of having to pay bills off of me getting a phone bill when I was younger, but I didn't have to. But I also learned from like doing chores. My mama said my job as a child was to go to school. She said
Right.
me getting good grades was basically her paycheck to her. She's like, you going to school and getting good grades, you will never have to pay a bill because you're doing your job. My job is to take care of you, and your job is to get an education. So that's how it was in my household, and we
Right.
was five, six of us.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. But then you also got to think about it back then. inflation wasn't as crazy as now. You know what I'm saying? So it was easier. It was easier for parents to support family. What you say, six? You said six, family.
Not no 6 kids. It was not. We were still struggling. It was still hard,
Right,
but
right,
we didn't. We
right. But
didn't
it was still a
know
different time.
because they took care of us.
Right,
Like they just made it. We might have like have struggle or whatever, but we didn't really know because they made it seem like our life was normal because we
right,
didn't. They didn't put the burden on a. Oh, y'all need to turn off the lights because the light bill up. You gonna pay the light bill? You gonna help me pay it? Like they never did nothing like that. They'll just like turn off the light. We just turn it off. Like they didn't make us feel bad for something they was gonna have to pay for regardless if we
right.
was there or not.
Absolutely. And no parent should do that. Like no parent should put the burden of the kids of like household bills. So I thought because the question was household bills, right? Cell phone. I mean, if you a kid, you don't necessarily need one, but at the same time, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. At the same time, if you
Yeah.
do decide to go that route, then yeah, why not learn how to pay your own phone bill? Till eventually, then you learn what it's like to be responsible and so on. So I agree with you, but I also think that times now are different though. Times now are different. Inflation is crazy. Like everybody got to work. Everybody. Soon as you start work, soon as you come of age, I need you at McDonald's, Bojangles or something. Cause yo, it's crazy out here in
Not
these
Mickey
streets, you know?
D's. No, I agree with y'all too. Cause like when I said, like I grew up, I didn't really have to pay any bills, and I got a job because I wanted to pay my own car insurance. I got me a car,
Right,
so
right,
I started
You
paying
wanted
my
to
own
be
insurance.
grown.
Okay, and my auntie was like, "Okay, that's yours." So I took responsibility for that. But she also helped me out also with that. So if I did, like, she'll give me money on the car insurance and something like that. So it's not like I had the sole responsibility. But I ultimately
right.
got a job because I wanted to have my own things, right?
Hmm.
So okay. So another question is, so you asked about the ages. So I would say I'm thinking more of like high school, when you went at the age where you can get a job up
Hmm.
until maybe 25,
Okay.
26. So I've seen a lot of things online. It's like a lot of parents think, okay, so since you're 18 now and you want to stay in my house, you're gonna have to pitch in on the light bill. You're gonna have to pitch in on maybe some of the rent. So how do you guys feel about that?
I disagree. Because
Hmm.
how you gonna help them flourish and let them become an adult if you're taking money from them? Like how the white people do it. They kids stay with them until
Hmm.
they can buy a house. They don't
Yeah.
make them pay no bills. They pay for their school. They're able to have a step in life because they don't have to have all the hard things that we are conditioning our children to have to pay. Like I know a lot of people my age when they were younger, they had to help pay lights, they had to help pay rent, they had to help do all of this stuff because they stayed there after they graduated high school. And I feel like that's not fair because it's like you was paying it before I turned 18. Why can't you keep paying it after I turned 18? I'm trying to
Hmm.
move out and get ahead in life. How am I supposed to get ahead if you taking my money from me? How am I supposed to be I'm staying here to stack up, but you taking my money. So how can I stack up?
Hmm.
Literally, like so I don't agree with that. Like our mama to this day, she told me, she said you could be 50 years old and you call me and say you need some money for your prescription. I'm gonna send you $20 for your
Hmm.
prescription. She said, you're
Yeah.
my child. I brought you in this world to make sure you're good. If you need me, I'm your parent. I'm gonna help you. She's like, it's already hard out here for us as black people, so why would I make it harder on you? I don't have to pay these bills regardless if you're here or not.
Yeah.
So mama, every time I've lived with her, which I haven't, I left when I was 18. But if I did come back or stay with her, she never was like, you gotta pay a bill, you need to give me some money, give me some gas money, chip on this, or if I use anything, she never. The only and I gave stuff like if I would give her money, it's because I wanted to give her money. If I would buy
Hmm.
groceries, because I wanted to buy groceries, but I was never forced to do anything. So I don't agree.
I think that it depends on the intent of why you would ask your child, right? Because different households have different situations. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody
Hmm.
like as you said, like everybody doesn't have the luxury of just having all this money. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the situation, right? Some parents they just may not have it. You know what I'm saying? Some parents just may not have it. They may have made it look like because one thing our parents are good at, it don't matter if they're rich or poor, they're really good at having us as their kids think that they got it all handled, right? They got it
Hmm.
all under control, right? But then sometimes, depending on your situation, depending on your family and so on, sometimes you don't really know until later on in life, like, how did my mom or dad buy X, Y, and Z? Because I remember how we was living. So how did you were able to buy, and now you're starting to learn all these sacrifices that your parents made along the way, right? Um, so as far as should they pay bills after 18 to 25 range, again, it just depends on the situation. It depends on your parental situation. Sometimes they can afford it. Now they can't afford it. Now sometimes on the flip side, some parents may have an intent where they may not need the money, but it's something to at least get you to understand what it's like to pay bills or what it's like to have your own, what it's like, to pay your bills on time, make sure that you know how to save, learn how to stack your money. And so, I'm not saying they're gonna charge you arm and a leg, but at the same time, it can be just the intent behind it, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question would be would you guys okay, when kids get out of high school, a lot of parents say, okay, you're 18 now, you got to get out of my house. So would you guys kick your kids out at 18 once they graduate high school?
No, I'm so against people doing that because I
Mm-hmm.
see how it hinders us. I literally see how it makes us have we already got 5 steps behind them because we black. Now we got even more 5 steps because you're kicking me out and I'm
Right.
18.
yeah.
Scientifically, our brain is not even developed. Our frontal cortex, whatever, the one in the front
The one,
that's making you an adult. Yeah, that one,
yeah,
it doesn't develop till you're 25. So how you kicking me out as an
that's
18 year
true.
old? I'm literally still a
Mhm.
teen and you kicking me out talking about
Right.
you gotta fend for yourself, send me to the wolves. No,
Yeah.
I literally have a daughter and but seeing her and like how the life that I had and we struggled, it made me want to strive to make sure she has everything she wants and need. Like she's gonna have everything because
Mhm.
we struggled, but I didn't really know we struggled. And
Right.
so I'm like, I want to make sure she has a life where she don't even know what struggle is. I want her to be able to have an advance, like I said, like white people they literally have an advance with their families and their kids because they let them stay. They let them save their money. They let them be kids. They don't kick them out. You got to get out. They actually let them be a child and develop. And I feel like in our culture, that's one of the biggest pet peeve I have is where like you 18, you grown, you gotta get out or you gotta leave. I'm not taking care of you no
Yeah.
more. I
Hmm.
feel like that it makes us backtrack so much because I'm 18 years old. I don't know
Right.
anything. I may think I know it, but I really don't know it.
Right.
And that was my issue when I turned 18. I got to ECU and I was like, oh, I'm grown. I ain't going back home. I'm
Yeah.
moving. So literally, I got to ECU. I went home and I was like, oh, yeah, summer, I ain't coming back. I'm getting a job and I'm going to get an apartment and I'm going to move. I wish I would have never did that. Mama
Okay.
literally, she begged me. She was like, you do not need to get an apartment. You need to come home. You don't need to get a job. She's like, you need to stop. I'm like, girl, I got a boyfriend. I'm grown. I'm about to give me a place. I ain't coming back. I wish I would have never did that. I wish I would have never did that because adulting, I'm about to be
It's
26 and I
trash.
wish I would have stayed home until I was 25. I wish I would have
Okay.
stayed home and saved my money and bought a house and did it how I could have. Or I'm wanted us to do that, but I'm grown. I don't want to be in your house. I don't want to be your rules. I don't got my little boyfriend. We got to move together. Should have never, ever, ever did that. But now looking back, that I have the experiences and knowing how hard it was, I can teach my daughter like you don't got to
Right.
do that. You can stay home. You can do what you need to do to get yourself right. So nah, I don't think you should kick them out at 18.
So my mom never kicked me out. My mom never like made me pay any type of bills. Even when I had like a cell phone. Y'all remember the flip phones when flip phones was
Yeah.
lit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about when the flip phones was lit, so you was call somebody and you hang up on them,
Yeah.
but it was the best time to hang up with the flip phone
Yeah.
because you can just slap that joker
Yeah.
close and they couldn't say nothing to
Oh
you,
no, is
and that
he
felt
is
so
he
good.
It
frozen?
froze. Yeah,
Oh
he
Those days,
froze.
no.
my mom never. I don't even
Yeah.
know why I even brought that up. But anyway,
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
he
are y'all still
frozen.
here? Y'all frozen.
I hope it
That's
comes
the thing about
back.
this Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Y'all frozen.
But well then, I guess we just because it don't even got
Wait.
yeah, it's not even showing his little sound thing.
Mm-mm. It may come back.
Oh yeah, his
Okay.
Wi-Fi
Yeah,
probably
he
went
went
out.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
It may come back.
Mm. But what's your take on it then? While
Um,
we try to get him back.
well, I think I wouldn't kick my kids out when they're 18. My aunt didn't do it, so of course I wouldn't do it either because I want you to, like you said, I want you to stay until you can, save enough, get you a house, get you an apartment, or whatever the case may be, and be fine. Like I don't want you to sit
Hmm.
here and I kick you out at 18. Now you don't have anywhere to live. You don't have a job. Like what are you gonna do? Like you literally out there to fend
Exactly.
for yourself.
Forcing
So
him into the struggle.
Yeah, and I think that also causes like resentment against your parents in the long run. Like
Hmm.
community now, it's like okay, now my kid doesn't talk to me, but you wonder why you kicked him out. You didn't. He kept kick them out. You don't know, like you don't know how that affects them mentally or nothing. So now you wonder why. Oh, I don't have a good relationship with my kid because you didn't allow that. And that's my thing
Exactly.
too.
Because I have some friends that have like some resentment to their moms because they made them get out, or they made them pay bills, or they made them like basically adults before they was ready to be an adult, and they made them feel this type of way because it's like it's your responsibility as the parent to take care of me, and I'm taking care of you. I'm paying your bills.
Right.
I'm making sure you're good, and you're gonna throw me away at 18 like you can get out, unless you're gonna do more than what you're already doing, because that's usually what happens. They're like,
Hmm.
okay, you're 18. I need you to help paying rent. I need you to help paying lights. I need you to help doing this. Oh, you're
Yeah, I
Hey.
don't know what happened. I don't even know what happened.
back.
You just
Yeah, you got.
froze.
Yeah, on the flip phone, you froze.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so the flip phone. I don't even know where I was going with that. So just disregard that. I don't even know where I was going with that. But
Okay.
but yeah. So I left. So I left when I was like 24. I left when I was 24. My mom never made me pay bills or anything like that. So because my mom, we actually didn't have it all. Like we did. Like my mom, she did the best thing. Now then again, it was just me and her because I'm an only child. So it's not like she had like multiple people in the house, things like that. So but I left when I was 24 because it was just time to go. Mom and I weren't seeing eye to eye, and I agree with you, Vania, when you say that it's how
Vanaya.
white people treat Vania. I'm sorry, Vania. Is that right?
It's okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my bad. My bad. Vania, is that right?
You good. Yeah,
Vania.
you got it right.
Okay, cool. All right. So Vania, so I agree with you when you said like white people, how they treat their kids versus black people. I think there's a mindset behind it though. Because our parents were always taught like go to school, get a good education. They were thrown out when they were 18 and so on and so forth. So naturally when you have that mindset, it becomes generational. And the issue with it is that we're in a different age now. And it's like, our parents will always have that old school mindset, but they're not gonna get with the times, if that makes sense. And they don't know that it's different ways that you can teach your kids how to, pay your bills, how how to do certain things. But as far as kicking them out when they're 18, that was their mindset. So that's why they do what they do. But now you in a different age, you shouldn't have to kick your child out. Because it's the same thing you say, you 18 years old, you don't know, you barely know how to tie your shoe. So let alone support a whole rent, mortgage, whatever. You got a spouse, you got whatever. So I think it's a mindset. I think our parents want to drill that mindset in us even now. In the black community, we are famous for that, man. We are so quick to kick out family and so on, and it's not funny. Like it's not.
And
It's
already.
really not even trying to be funny.
Mhm.
Like that's just what it is, and it shouldn't be that way. So that's something we should definitely fix as a whole.
And it's crazy because, like you said, it goes off of their generation. Because my dad, he's the
Mhm.
complete opposite of my mom. He think a kid need to get a job at 16. They need to pay some bills. They need to get out with the 18 and all this stuff. My mom was like, "No, that's not how." And it was because that's how he was conditioned with his mama. That's how it
Mhm.
was with them because they're from up north. They're from New Jersey, so they start young.
Uh,
They're fast,
yeah.
fast paced with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
She was raised in North Carolina. She was born in Philly, but they came down to North Carolina. So my grandma's always been like, you got a place with me as long as you is doing what you need to do as a student. That's how it's always been with our family in that type of way. As long as you do what you need to do with your education, you always have a place here. It's when it starts getting tricky when you want to start, okay, going out, turning up, not taking care of your
Right.
responsibilities, not going to school. That's when it started being like, all right, you think you're grown now. That's when the issue happens. Because that's what happened
Mhm.
with my mom. My mom got pregnant with me when she was 17. She had me at 18. My grandma was gonna let her stay, but my mom was like, "Nah, I'm about to be with my dad." She was like, "I'm about to live with him. I'm about to go be grown." But my mama could have stayed with her. She was just like, "I'm not celebrating sin, but you can stay here. But I ain't gonna tear that baby. That's what you got to do. That's your baby." But my mom was like, "I'm gonna be grown, just like how I was." It's always a man with us trying to be
Yeah.
grown. We want
Yeah.
to be live with our boyfriend. We don't want to be under the mama rules. Mom was do like she regret doing that. She wish she would have
Yeah.
stayed. Just like how I felt the same way. I wish I would have stayed. Literally, because when adulting hit you, it hit you hard. You be thinking because your parents make it look easy that it's easy, and it's not.
Absolutely.
especially
It's not easy at
if you're
all.
single too, and especially if you're single, because like
Yeah.
how the U.S. is like system works. If you're not like damn
Yeah,
near
they don't care about
married,
single people.
yeah, single people don't get no love. We don't get no love. If you it's either you married
No,
or
for
if you
real.
have kids. If you married and you got kids, oh, they'll pay you out the yin yang. Let you be single with no kids. Boy, I'm out here trying not to
No, for
strip. You
Can't
know what
real.
I'm
get
saying?
nothing.
I'm trying to, dang, go on this tough out here. Man,
Trying to get multiple streams of income and everything
I'm
Right.
because it's
telling you,
hard.
man.
Before I had my daughter, boy, my taxes used to be nothing. People would get
Okay.
$1,000. I used to get like a
Yeah.
couple hundred. People used to be
Exactly.
splurging. They like, girl, you need to have a kid, get married. I'm like, girl, but I don't need to do that for
Yeah.
no taxes now. But
They
now
got
I
Hmm.
you.
see what people with kids, girl,
Yeah.
I'm glad I had a baby.
Them tax returns be
They
crazy.
help you.
Yeah. They take care of you.
They do. They take care
Mhm.
of you. He right. If you got unless you married or you got a kid, the government help you. I'm not even gonna cap. They really take care and help you. You get tax breaks, you get all this income breaks, you get all these help that you get. But
Mhm.
when you single, you gotta fend for yourself. You don't get no type of
Literal.
help. You can't apply for food stamps. You can't apply for no government system
Nothing.
because you make too much money. How I'm making too much
Right?
money? I can't afford the groceries.
Come on
These
now.
groceries, it's like $200 for a week if you want to eat
Literally.
healthy and organic, like how we
Hmm.
supposed to.
Right. For real. It's really
So I'm
crazy.
like, yeah, for single people, I feel for y'all. My daughter was a blessing. That's why her name Blessing. Cause Lord, that tax break I got for
Yeah.
that blessing, Lord.
Man. I tell you right now, man. It really is tough out here if you're single. I remember I had at my old job, I had a coworker. She had like 4 kids. I said, yo, let me borrow like 2 of them for this year, and then let me go ahead and add them on my taxes. I'm gonna give them
Right.
back to you. I'm giving back
Bring
to
them
you. Let me
back.
just borrow about 2 of them.
No, for real.
Gain up this 10,000
Yeah.
in taxes, tax money, and I'll give it back to you.
Oh
Okay.
no, you get 8, like about 8. I think you can get 8 for like 1. To be honest,
For real.
What?
is when you start adding on more. Yeah, because my homegirl she got 8 for her 1. I was like, girl, I didn't even get that much. I'm like,
That
you
is
must have didn't work this year.
crazy.
You ain't worked last year for you to get that much. Cause ain't no
That's
way
crazy.
you got that much back. I was like, somebody did something with your tax return. Cause usually
Right.
for 1 you get 6. And for 2 you
That's
get 8.
crazy.
But yeah, that's
That's
why I'm
still
like, I
good
see
though.
it, girl, it is. You know how getting that much in the tax return can put you ahead. You can buy a house, you can buy a car,
Okay.
you can pay your bills up. Like those advancements
Hmm.
help. And as a single person, not being able to get that advancement just because you don't have a kid or you're not married, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah. Definitely.
Mm.
Okay, y'all. So, so I think the next question was: do you think children making children pay bills impacts them in a negative way or a positive way? And I feel like we already answered that question. But if you guys want to elaborate, you can.
I feel like we answered it. I feel like it's like you said, it's 50-50. Like it's could be negative because they're young, they don't know what they're doing. It's gonna be hard. And then like you said, when they get older around a certain age, it can be positive because it shows them how to pay bills, how to be responsible. So I think it's a 50-50. But for me it's like 75-25 because my baby
Yeah.
ain't gonna pay no
Yeah.
bills.
Yeah, definitely,
and
definitely situation.
Mhm.
and I see a lot of people saying like it makes them making children pay bills. It makes them value the dollar more. And my thing is, I don't think it does. I really don't because I didn't have to, and I value my money.
Okay,
So
that's a lie. That's why I'm an example of that being a lie because
okay,
I value every penny, every dime, every dollar, and I didn't have to pay
literally.
a bill. So that's why I'm just
Mhm.
like, that's not true. That's literally like I guess situational. For some
Yeah,
people, it might if they're very irresponsible, it can force them to. But I've always been responsible, so that's why
right,
that wouldn't make me value a dollar or not because I already knew the value of it because we was poor.
right. Yeah,
So I
I'm
learned
like
that from being a low
experience.
income
Yeah.
experience that a dollar's important.
Okay.
And then also, if you think about it, public schools don't teach you how to really manage your money, if that makes sense. Like
Oh
public
no.
school don't teach you like, put save this amount when you get paid or learn how to use credit, especially credit. Public school does not teach you about credit at all. That's why you got a lot of people that's in bankruptcy and accounts. in DQ and so on and so forth. Because again, like my background is finance. I didn't see some people's accounts. Like I've been on finance to where I was a teller and now I do loans. So I've seen both sides of the spectrum. So and it's really a lot of people who they just don't know. Like nobody taught them how to use their money, how to value a dollar. You know, nobody taught them. The only people that would know that are come from the parents who knew how to do that, if that makes sense, or their parents may have showed them in some form of fashion, whether or not directly or indirectly. So
Yeah, I agree. And I think speaking of credit and financial literacy, I feel like our community, we are really like bad at teaching our children this. And I know I was fortunate enough to know about credit. Like my aunt put me on a line on her credit, and that's how my credit. I built my credit. But a lot of people do not know that, and a lot of families use their children's names, and then once they get older, their credit is like terrible. It's trash. So they can't do anything because their parents was putting a light bill in their name, the phone bill in their name. Like we really put ourselves back.
See, yeah, I can see both because like my mama, she
Mhm.
did do those things when I was younger, but them 7 years went by, so it fell off, so it's not on my credit no more. So, but I can understand why she did it because she was struggling, but I would never
Yeah.
do it. I could see the effects of it, and to be honest, she wasn't taught. She didn't know. She didn't have financial
Mhm.
literacy, so she's just doing what she thought was best. She's just like, well, I can't get this light bill in my name because I got an old bill. Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it in her name because we need lights. It's me and her. And at the
Yeah.
time, it was me, her, and my sister because we're back to back. We're 1 year apart. So
Mhm.
it was one of those things where she had to do that because she didn't have no choice or was gonna have no lights. So I can see why, but I would never. But I didn't learn honestly financial about credit and all that stuff. So I took a finance class in college, like one of those
Mhm.
classes where they teach you about credit, teach you about mortgages, where they teach you about
Yeah.
basically how to manage your money and stuff. It was like a budgeting marketing class, something like that. I can't
Mhm.
remember, but I took it in college, and that's when I really learned about credit because I didn't have a clue. My mom never taught me, and she was one of those people
Mhm.
where it's like she paid everything with cash because her credit was messed up because when she was younger,
Mhm.
the decisions she made, but my grandma never
Yeah.
taught her. So it was one of those things where it's like I basically stopped the generational curse when it came to that kind of stuff because I learned in college, and so did my sister. She learned, so like we had better credit than my mama did because she had made bad decisions. But now she's learning because we taught her what we learned in school, so we kind of switched it around.
Yeah. What about you, E?
yeah, I ain't learned about none of that till I got my finance job. So I ain't know nothing about that. So I remember the first line of credit I opened up was a credit card. Actually, it was an unsecured credit card though, so it doesn't really affect you as much. Um, I'm sure that people are gonna watch this. So I guess I'll break it down a little bit. So you have some credit cards are unsecured credit cards. You have secured credit cards. Unsecured credit cards mean that there's no type of like collateral behind it or anything like that. It's simply you just sign a document, say, hey, I'm going to borrow this much on this card, and this would be my limit, and so on and so forth. Then you have a secured card. Secured cards are backed by some form of collateral. Sometimes people use their car, people use their house, people use different things as collateral. Um, but the secured cards, those really affect your credit. So what a lot of people don't know is that when you open up all these credit cards, just because they send credit cards in the mail, it's not free money. I think a lot of people have this idea that when you get those letters in the mail, like you get this credit card with this interest rate and this percent and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and people think that that's free money. That is not free money. You have to pay that back. So there's no point you opening up 10, 11 credit cards. Now you wonder why your credit looks bad. And you wonder why you can't get a new loan. You wonder why your credit score is below what it should be. You wonder why you can't get a house, why you can't get this and that. Is because when you open up all these credit cards and all these accounts, it takes forever to get it back right. And yes, you can probably file taxes, you'll get something back, but that doesn't mean that you should do that route though. Don't be filing taxes just to pay back them credit cards that if you never open them up in the first place, you won't be in the situation that you're in now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if they don't have they don't have the education,
Yeah,
that's
they
why.
won't
Because I
know.
was in that same predicament in college before I had took that class. I literally got an American Express card unsecured at
Uh
18 years old. When I
Oh,
tell you I was running it up at Crabtree, I was
Absolutely.
buying. I bought an iPad. I went
Of course.
shopping. We went to Cheesecake Factory.
Why
I
not?
running it up, and then I got that bill. I got that bill, and I was like, "Oh, I
right.
gotta pay
Almost
this
passed
back."
out.
Tell me why I got my paycheck, I paid it off, and I closed the card. I was like, no,
Okay.
this is too much responsibility. I was like, this is too
Yeah.
much
Absolutely.
responsibility. You giving me this card with this big limit at 18 years old, and you talking about that
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
gotta pay it back. I paid it back and I closed the card. I was like, nah, I already
Yep.
know.
I
I know
learned my lesson.
myself. I learned my lesson. I
Yep.
closed it. I was like, When I got ready, that's when I got another card and it was unsecured and I did it the right way. But that first one,
Right.
who you know, 18-year-old with American Express?
Right.
That's
When you
crazy.
said that, I
I
was
literally, when I
American
tell
Express.
people,
Right.
yes. And I didn't know how important American Express and all that stuff was until I got older. I'm literally looking back and I'm like, girl, you had an American Express at 18 and you was
Right.
going crazy. Because you know, American
Wow.
Express, they give you high limits, really
Yeah.
high limits.
Yeah.
So when I tell
Yeah.
you we went to Atlanta, we seen Drake and Migos, we was doing everything. I was eating lobsters, I was going crazy.
Oh
Boy,
Listen,
I
I
my.
had to
feel
get my refund check. I was living a life. All the time, mommy gonna eat. Ma, I got it. Whipping out that American Express. So I got that
like.
bill. When I got that bill, I was like,
Hmm.
oh, this not free money. I got
No.
my
Right.
refund check and I got my paycheck and I paid it off and I canceled it. I closed it. They're like, you sure you want to cancel it? Yes.
Yes.
Close it. No.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I fell on my credit because now that I'm grown, I know I should have never closed the account. I should have just paid it and left the card alone.
Yeah.
But it fell off
Yeah.
my credit now. I'm good now.
You
But
good? Yeah.
Lord, I was back in the day, that American Express boy, I was swiping the numbers off that thing.
Mm. And then also another thing that you gotta be mindful of when you do get a credit card, you have to watch because some of these companies they'll raise your credit limit, like they'll like raise your credit limit, whether or not you want to or not. Like they'll send you a letter,
Yeah.
oh
Mhm.
your max loan was 1,000, we're gonna raise that to 5,000. Now again,
Yep.
if you don't have the financial literacy, you thinking that's a good thing. That is not a good
Right.
thing. That is not a good thing.
I,
Credit cards honestly should
literally.
be used for like emergency situations. Like if you use credit,
Exactly.
it's like all right because you need something. Like your tires went out, you need new tires. Your engine went out, you may
Mhm.
need new engine. Something cracks in your house and you need to replace that. Cool. Then you put that on credit. Then you make your payments every so often and so on and so forth. And then another thing is that people think when you get a credit card that paying it off is going to help them. Actually, it doesn't pay the what because what companies are looking for, what credit bureaus are looking for are you paying them down to show that you know how to pay the credit down, right? That you know how to do that. Because all credit means is can I trust you? That's all credit means. Credit means is can
Mhm.
I trust you? So if I give you a card with $1,000 limit on it, can I trust you to pay me back that $1,000 with interest? Because let's be honest, they make the money off interest. They don't make the money off the principal, which is why you got interest rates of 20, 30,
Mhm.
40, 50%. And you get an interest rate in double digits. I don't even know why you even what are you doing? Like I don't even
Right.
understand. Like what are
That's
you doing?
crazy.
Bro, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, they be
Yeah.
baiting you, and it's their primary like crowd is the college students because we
Right.
don't know. So they send you all these cards. You broke. You don't got no money. You didn't get a card. It's like you got $1,000 limit. You're gonna
Taking
take
it.
it because you don't know. You like
Mhm.
I don't. Well, and especially if you tell your parents, they don't know no better. So they just like okay, do whatever you gotta do. So I'm
Yeah.
literally over here swiping this card, thinking that I got this unlimited amount of money when I
Yeah.
really don't. I gotta pay this back. I remember literally I had swiped the card up to the limit, right? Literally swiped it up to the limit. We went to Atlanta, and I'm sitting here like, dang, I don't know, like it's at the limit. Tell me why I called a card, they added a $2,000 extra to it.
That sound about
So
right.
that's when I started
Yep.
going crazy and getting lobster and going to Linux and all of that because they're like, oh, she done swiped on this card and swallowed this money.
Oh
We gonna give
yeah.
her some more money because
Okay.
clearly
Yes.
she gonna use it up or whatever. Tell me
Absolutely.
why I literally fell into everything that I wasn't supposed to do. I did it. I fell into it because I didn't know until
Yeah.
I really took that class and I learned and then I seen I got that bill and I was like, yeah, nah, this is a
Hey,
trap.
but
It's a
question for
trap.
you
Yeah.
though.
It is.
But question for you though. All all the material stuff that you bought, all the material stuff, did you keep it or did you take it back?
I kept it.
Okay,
I
just
still got
just making
the
sure.
iPad. I still,
Okay,
well, no,
bet.
I did the shoes, the Jordans. I took send them back. I did send them back because I realized Jordans was a waste of money. I
Mhm.
literally was like, "This is a waste. I'm supposed to keep the shoes clean all the time. I'm supposed to wear them
Right.
like once, and I'm supposed to make sure the
Yeah.
ball." I swear to you, Jessica, have you ever seen me wear Jordans?
No.
Exactly, because I sent them back freshman year. I literally went to what's that place in Greensboro? It's like a little consignment where they buy your Jordans. I took 3 pairs and I got $1,000 back because I had bought these really expensive, like classic Jordans, thinking that I'm somebody.
Oh my
Yes,
god, bro.
literally, and I sold them and I paid. I put it on a credit card too because I'm like, I went crazy. Why am I Apple buying an iPad and I got a laptop? I don't need no
Right.
iPad. I was going crazy, boy. I was stupid. I really was. I was uneducated. I really didn't know. I
Mhm.
literally was like, I got this unlimited amount of money. I could do what I want. I'm rich when I
Yeah.
wasn't. I'm in debt now.
Right. That is crazy.
Literally.
Literally,
Yeah. I know at growing
literally.
up, my aunt, she like always told me, she was like, and I would get those cards in the mail. She was like, don't get a credit card. She just always told me, do not get a credit card. When I was
Really?
in high school, even like my freshman, even like undergrad, she was like, do not open a credit card. Like she would literally throw my like cards away, and I would see them. She would like just throw it away, shred it up. So I'm like, okay. So
That's how
I
I am
finally,
now.
yeah. So I finally got my first credit card last year actually, and it wasn't even like a,
Wow.
Wow.
yeah, but I was on her credit cards, and she, she has like amazing credit, so I was on her credit card. She added me as a line, so that helped me because she was making her payments on time and everything like that.
Like an authorized user type thing.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah, but
want to do with my daughter. I want to do the same
mm-hmm,
thing for her so she'll have good credit when she turns 18 and stuff.
mm-hmm,
She'll be already set with like a 750, 800, she'll be
yep,
good. Because that's what my aunt did with her daughter too, because she only got
mm-hmm.
one child and she did the same with her. And she got perfect credit and she 22.
Yeah, that's the best way in my opinion. And I actually got a Best Buy card because I need a new laptop. So I put that on my card. That's like literally the only, but I got a Visa, so I can use it literally anywhere that it accepts
Mhm.
Visa. So that's the only card I have now. And I'm fine with that. Like I'm not about to get no other card. I'm cool. So
See, you smart though. You had the education. Not everybody. We learn. A lot of us learn from trial
yeah.
and error. For real, for real. Like,
Yeah.
unless your parents told you no, then you didn't know. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
had a coworker at my old job. We used to work for the city of Fayetteville, and she literally had got a credit card because she was a single mom with 3 kids. That credit card is $50,000 in debt. She used it for all
Whoo.
the kids' extracurricular activities, anything she couldn't afford, bills she couldn't
Oh
pay,
my
anything.
gosh.
And now that the kids are grown, she's like, I need y'all help to pay off this card. She's like, I literally got this card to help me pay stuff for y'all. And now this card is at this limit because y'all all grown, because all the kids are
Mm,
grown now. The youngest one just left the house. And literally, she's like, I need y'all help. I've had this card all y'all lives to help pay for stuff because your
whew.
dad did it. And now my credit is in the sinker because I was struggling. She's like, I literally didn't have no choice. She's like, I wasn't getting child support. The fathers was helping. It was literally like, I'm gonna get this credit card, and it just kept raising the limit, raising it because she
Mm.
was using it. So she's $50,000 in debt. Like she went to school off of a credit card,
That
Wow.
is crazy.
and now her
Fifty
kids have this
thousand.
responsibility. Yes, 50,000. When I told you, and it was a white woman. When she told me that, I was like, "You're
Oh
crazy."
wow.
Them kids just would have went without. I'm sorry. You
Okay.
ain't playing football. You're not playing soccer. You're not doing
Nothing.
none of that. You play in the yard. I'm not getting
Right.
$50,000 in debt just for y'all to play extracurricular
No.
activities.
That
No,
is
she's just
ridiculous.
like,
That.
I didn't want. I wanted them to have the house life that they needed and
Oh
wanted,
no.
and da da da
They
da.
won't have it.
And then her ex husband, he was in the military. So I'm like, girl, you should have been asking him for money. She didn't put him on child support till like years later, but like when they was kids and stuff, she was using that credit card for like
That's
emergencies, for doctor's
crazy.
appointments, for bills and everything. And now she want to force them to pay on it. Talking about some, oh, I've been using this y'all whole life. I need y'all help to pay it off. And the kids like, girl, bye.
Well, like we didn't ask you to do that. That is not my problem.
Right? She got 2 sons and a daughter, and they all like, girl, no, we didn't tell you to do that.
Man,
You
look.
did it.
What?
Man, look. Every child is not gifted
That's
sports wise.
crazy.
You can learn that from the time they start walking. You are not gonna be no LeBron James. I'm going to pull you from this basketball. I'm going to pull you. You are not about to be no
Okay.
Mike Vick, no Tom Brady. I'm going to pull you from this football. I can already tell you ain't got it.
Okay.
You ain't got it, son. Son, I
You
love
ain't
you.
got
Baby girl, I
dating
love
you.
you. But you ain't got it. You ain't got it. Mm-mm.
And it's crazy. They left her for dead. One of them, he moved to Florida. The other one moved to Texas. And then the other one, she married a military man. So she gone too. And she stuck with
Oh,
this credit card.
she left. She left for dead for real.
That's great.
I was like,
Why
That's
don't
girl,
you listen up, bro? I'm gonna go ahead and move.
right.
when they turned 18, they left. Because they knew about the credit card because she always held it over her head. So when they turned 18, they was like, bye.
I don't blame them. I would have been out too. Cause what,
$50,000
girl?
is literally somebody's salary. You talking about help you pay that, girl? We better wait them 7 years and let that
Right.
credit just take, and then it'll go away. Just I
Right.
file for bankruptcy, something.
Just give
I
it
don't know what to
time.
tell you, sis.
Man, I'll be
That's
back on.
wild, bro.
Yeah, it was crazy. When she told me that, I was looking at her like she lost her mind. I was like, when she said $50,000, she showed me on her phone too. She went to the app and showed me the balance. I was like,
But my thing
wow.
is, like, has she even tried to pay it off though?
I'm pretty sure
Like,
she probably was paying the minimum. You know how people be doing.
sheesh,
Probably paying the
bro.
minimum. Literally. I'm like, girl, I'm a single mama and I would never put out no 50. Girl, I wish I would get a car.
Ever.
We just gonna go without. We just gonna go without. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Cause that's
No. Them being a
mm-mm.
soccer is not a necessity.
Come on now.
But you
Cause
know it's a necessity to them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Absolutely
no,
not.
no.
I didn't do no sports in high school. None of my siblings, none of us did sports in high school, so my family could afford it. If we want to do
Right.
sports, then that's when we had to get a job because that's extracurricular.
Yeah. Cause that's wild.
Yeah, it's kind of the same boat as a cell phone. You want a cell phone,
Yeah.
get you a job. You want to play soccer, get you a job.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like if it's stuff that you want to do, then I feel like yes, that's your responsibility. But as far as like stuff that I have to provide for you as a parent, no, like that doesn't make
Exactly.
sense to me.
I agree.
Okay, so another question. So I want to ask, what would be, or would you guys do a age cutoff as far as when your kids could come back and live with you, and if they did come? So say if your kid was like 35, and he's like, or he or she is like, I need to come back and live with you. So how would you take that? Would you allow them? Would you set rules for your household as far as like having guests over or whatever the case may be? Because I know some
See,
parents now, they let their kids, their girlfriend, boyfriend come over, stay with them and everything like that.
see, I told you my family different. Like,
Mm-hmm.
literally, my grandma, she done had my uncle come move back with her. She done had my aunt come move back with him, and they in their 30s and 40s. Well, 40s, almost 50s. They don't. My family is one of those families like if you need the help, we're gonna help you. That's just how we always been. Almost she's always been responsible. She's never not had a place. She's always. But one time, her landlord, she had been living in this house for 6 years. They this is when like the market, I think this is around when COVID started happening and everything started going down and everything started getting high and stuff. He literally had gave her a 30-day notice. They fixed up everything in the house and was like, we're selling the house. So she had 30 days to find somewhere to live.
Oh
And
my
my siblings was
gosh.
living with her, my little brother and my little sister. I had this is when I was pregnant. This is actually like 2 years ago, almost 2 years now. She had to come live with me. They had to come live with me. And I stayed in a 2 bedroom
Wow.
apartment. They had to come stay with me for like 2 months. And literally, Arm was like, because of the way I raised you, I knew that I was gonna be able to come to you because she didn't have nowhere else to go. She was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have 30 days to find me a place. This is when when all the prices went up on the apartments, everything was rising
Right.
up, everything was going crazy. She was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. My mama knew that she can come to me. So the fact that people be like, there's a cutoff with it, in my family, there's not. There's no age cutoff. If you
Yeah.
hit hard times and you need to come home, you can come home. I could literally go move in with my mama tomorrow if I needed to. If I got evicted and I needed to go somewhere, my mom would literally clear out one of those rooms and let me come and move in with her. Off of the simple fact of me doing that for her. Literally, and this is just how we was raised. It's literally just we're family. You have to have a village. People think a village is just when you're young and you have a baby. No, a village is for the rest of your life. You need help. It's getting hard. Like you said, it's a recession. Prices is crazy. To live in a 1 bedroom is like $1,200 now.
Yes.
Some people don't even make that much in their paychecks every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you expect me to be able to pay rent $1,200 and light and groceries and food, like phone bill, all of that stuff? Like it's
Yeah.
hard out here. So no, me and my family, we don't have that cutoff. You can come back at any age. My aunt is literally with my grandma right now, and she is 45, and
One
it
thing I
got
just
too
want to add to
expensive.
that,
She couldn't
eggs
afford
ten
it.
Yeah.
dollars too. So
Huh?
He said eggs
Yeah, yeah,
$10.
yeah, I want to add eggs $10 too, just to add on to that, because I'll be daggone
Okay.
about my eggs.
Eggs.
For $10,
Boy, I'll be looking at them eggs.
Well,
listen,
look,
them
the guy
Uh-uh.
eggs
now I
better
don't
be
eat eggs,
expensive. Do
so
you hear me what I tell you?
Girl, them
Them
vegan eggs
eggs,
expensive too. Them little just
I don't eat
eggs
them.
expensive.
I don't use
Oh.
them either.
and them eggs don't even taste good. That's the crazy thing. You gonna charge me $10 for eggs that don't even taste good? Man, no.
Yeah, they nasty. I had them. They nasty. I don't like them.
I'll
Oh
be
my
daggone.
gosh.
But anyway,
Mm-mm.
um,
Yeah.
so to answer that, I'm glad that you went first because at my first thought was you 35 trying to move back. Man, no, you better figure it out. You 30, no, no. But but again, in the age, the era that we're in now, I mean, this inflation is crazy. So
Mhm.
um me being me, I would like if I had a place to where I could like if my mom needed to move in, absolutely, absolutely. Or my uncle or cousin or whoever, if they friends or whoever need to move in, absolutely. If times were like easy, if times were like easier, no, you moving back with me. What are you talking about? No, you 35. Like you figured it out. You know, you can still figure it out. You know, unless you're just going through it's just a plethora of stuff. If you're just going through a plethora of just problems.
Mhm.
You getting divorced, you losing the house, you losing the kids, you lose like if it's just like a bunch of stuff, then regardless, good times, bad times, absolutely, absolutely, move in. But I feel as though that also comes with planning ahead of time. I feel like a lot of people don't know to plan ahead of time. If we know that we're in a recession where inflation is crazy right now, you got to kind of like plan ahead. So instead of maybe eating out, you may have to learn how to cook. You know what I'm saying? To be able to save some of that money.
Mhm.
Because again, you just don't know. You just don't know what could happen. Tire may go out, you may need new tires. Water heater go out, you may need, need that or something. You should always plan ahead. But if it's a situation where that person is just down on life, like they're just down on their luck, if you need a place to stay, absolutely come through. You ain't staying forever though. Don't be getting comfortable. You staying right on that couch. You stay right on that couch.
See, and that's the thing too.
Yeah.
Like, we knew it wasn't gonna be long term because we're both alpha females. So we
Mhm.
was like, and I was pregnant too. So I was like, we already knew this was just for her to find a place.
Yeah.
Literally, I think my mama, she was probably there for like a month and a half. There wasn't, and then she worked night shifts, and I worked day shift. So
Oh, so
literally,
y'all
we was
didn't.
never, yeah, we was never around each other because only time if we was off the same times, like, because I was off on weekends and she sometimes worked weekends. So I probably saw her 3 weekends out of the whole time she was living there.
Mhm.
So like it was one of those things where because I remember when I moved back to Fayetteville because I had to do my internship. I didn't have a job, I didn't have a place to stay, I didn't have nothing. My mom was like, "Move back in with me. You can come home." Literally, and she took care of me. So that's why I'm like, you, mom was literally, she didn't have no choice. They literally sent her notice in the mail. Was like, you got 30 days to move out. Mom was a planning ahead type of person, but that situation that happened to her made me
Yeah,
plan
that's.
ahead. So now I pay my rent
Mhm.
in advance. My rent
Yeah.
is paid up to June. Literally,
Mhm.
I don't do that whole waiting because you're not about to
Yeah.
try to kick me out. My rent already paid.
Okay, I'm staying.
Okay, I'm not doing that. And that situation really, I already always pay my bills ahead of time. Like, I've always been a person that paid the bills ahead of time because, like you said, you never know what's gonna happen, and that has helped me in so many situations. Like in undergrad, when I got fired or whatever in like October. I wasn't leaving to leave ECU until December. My bills was already paid already January, so I
Yeah,
was straight.
it was
The only
good.
thing I had to
Yeah.
worry about was groceries. That's it. Everything else
Mhm.
was good because I always paid everything in advance. I'm really a plan ahead type of person because I've seen so much happen to people when they didn't
Mhm.
and they wasn't prepared and they was on their butt and they didn't have anything. So I've always been like, one thing I'm gonna always have is a place, some lights, and some water. I'm always
Okay.
gonna have that because I pay all of them events. I put a
Yeah.
chunk of money on the account and they just pull from it. I
Mhm.
literally, I don't play that. I'm gonna always have that.
Yeah. My aunt taught me that too, to pay ahead too. If you can do it,
If you can't do
shoot.
it, yeah,
Yeah. There's no
literally.
reason
I
to
be telling people
not.
all the time. She always be like, I can't pay ahead. She was like, cause what if I die? I'm like, if you die,
Well,
the
you
money gonna
can't
go
spend
to
it.
us. Exactly. I was just like, they go. I was like, Ma, if you die, you pay your rent ahead. They're gonna send us a check for it. I was like, what do
Right.
you mean? She's like, why would I spend money that I could be using on something else ahead of time? I'm like, okay, but then
Okay,
look
but what
how
if
she
you
ended
don't
up.
die? Yeah, I'm
But
about to
look at how
say.
she ended up though. So I'm like, maybe if you would have paid rent ahead, I don't know, but it was literally crazy though. And
Yeah.
my mom always say, I don't know where you got that paid ahead from because I sure didn't. I was like, girl, cause I seen how everybody was in their
Right.
predicament, so I'm gonna pay ahead
And then
because
they gonna
I'm
be
not about to
me.
play this game. I'll get these people their money. I'm not even gonna play with these people. I'm gonna give you more
Hmm.
actually, and that's why like a lot of places that I've gotten them because I'm like, hey, I got 6 months rent right now.
Hmm.
I got it
Yeah, they
already
like
because I've
that.
always been a saver. Girl, they love that. When they hear that
Hmm.
you about to pay that half the lease up front,
Right.
oh, they're like, girl, when you moving in? Here's the
Right.
keys.
I
We
don't
need
even
you
need your
immediately.
bank, your pay stubs, nothing. Here you go.
So that's why I'm like, it has its perks. I mean, and it just comes with like being financially responsible, saving, just
Hmm.
being ready for the unknown. Literally, that's why I could say if I lose everything, I know I still got somewhere to lay my head because I already paid my rent.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah. I feel that. As far as me for the question, I don't have a cutoff limit for my children. Whenever I do have children, I'm the type of person like you said, like you can come back whenever you need. Whatever you need, I'm here. That's what I'm here for. So until you die, I got you. Until I die, I got you. So whoever kicked the bucket first, but yeah.
That's how my family is. Our families, I think, is similar in that that's just how we
Hmm.
are. We just, I don't know, we're very tight knit, family oriented people. Like we say, I love you, we hug, we do all of that all the time. And some people like, I don't know when the last time I even heard I love you from my family. Girl,
Yeah.
what? We say I love you before we hang up the phone. If you don't say it, we call
Okay.
back and make sure
Because I know you heard
you can
me.
say I love you. Yes, literally. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know, kind of. Some people was raised off of survival. I was raised off of love. Like,
Same.
so I'm like, I can't relate to some of the things that y'all be going through because my mama love me. So
Right. Yeah. And I do want to touch on the housing situation 1 second because, like, giving somebody 30 days is really like crazy
hmm
because I know from like my old apartment, they sent me a notice in March, and my lease was up in June. They're basically, but they gave me like 30 a month to decide. Or it might have been 3 weeks, but either way, they were like, so you either gonna resign with us or you gonna tell us that you're not resigning. And the rent went up like $500. So I'm like,
uh,
unless you're gonna renovate my apartment, then my rent is gonna stay the same. Because
it's a
what?
scam. It's literally a
Literally.
scam. That happened with, but it was kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
I had my daughter, and then a couple months later, they had a little notice on our building saying that our building was going to get condemned because it was the bottom part of the apartment was dry rotted, and they're like, I stayed on the second floor, but it was 3 levels, and they're like, it could
Mm-hmm.
collapse at any moment. What do you mean it could collapse at any moment? So we had 3 weeks to find a place. 3 weeks, and I have a 6 month old at the time,
Mm-mm-mm.
and I just started back working not so long ago because I took a 3 month maternity leave, so I only got 3 months worth of money. And y'all talking about I gotta find a new place? What? But they gave me all my money back because I paid my rent up. So
Oh,
thankfully, I was
good.
able to get all
Yeah.
my money back, and I was able to put it on the place that I'm living at now. And it was a blessing, honestly, because
Yeah.
I literally was like, this is nothing but God that I was able to find a place in 3 weeks and was able to
Mm-hmm.
get my money and put it down because Lord knows y'all talking about some they about to condemn the building because it's dry rotted. What? How y'all just gonna come out the blue and tell us this? And like
Literally,
basically
bro.
failed the city inspection. I don't know if you had seen it on my story when I had posted it.
I don't
Yeah, it failed the
remember.
inspection. The bottom was dry rotted, everything. I had posted a little picture of the sign on the building. And I was like, what does this mean, y'all? And they're like, you need to get out. And I was like, I called my people, and they're like, we don't know what to do because we never had a situation like this. What do y'all mean? I don't know what to do, and y'all are the landlords. Give my money.
Literally.
I said, run my money. They was like, we got some places we can run my money. No, I'm
No,
not
I don't
switching
want to
to a
deal with
different building.
y'all.
I'm not moving to a different building. I've never experienced this in my. I've been renting probably
Yeah.
about 7 years now, and I've never had no stuff like that happen before.
That's
Run my
wild.
money. I'm leaving. I'm not staying here. No,
Right?
talk about so we can find you a different
I'm
unit. We can
good.
find you a different building. What's to
Mm-mm.
say this not gonna happen with a different building? These
Right.
all built around the same time.
Y'all failing inspections. What in the world? Y'all should have been shut
Girl,
down.
tell me why this happened in September last year. I just went to the neighborhood. The place still up.
Oh
They didn't even
no.
condemn it. They didn't even condemn it. So I don't know if they got up to code, if they what, or the sign out on the side of the building or nothing that. So, but I was lucky. I used that excuse because I wanted to leave anyways. I didn't want to stay in an apartment no
Yeah.
more. I wanted to live in a house. So I was like, this is my blessing in disguise to get up out of this apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was crazy. Them little notices, they be crazy.
Yeah. And the thing is, like my old apartment, I don't know if you of my old apartment, but I used to stay at Brighton Park, and it's like, bro, they didn't have a clubhouse, they didn't have a pool. Like the 2 bedroom apartments don't even have a patio or a like a balcony or nothing. Like it's no back door.
And they went up $500.
No, the 2 bedrooms. I had a 1 bedroom. I was paying
Uh-huh.
5, and the 2 bedrooms are already like 8, I think. And now they're like I seen online, they're like $1,400, and you don't have a back door. You have like a little square window. Like you think I'm paying that? I gotta
For
go outside,
1400? No. You're crazy.
bro. And then they talking about, oh well, we're building. And my thing is with like just rental places in general. Like if you have plans on expanding your rental property, I'm not paying for that. That's your job to come with the money. Why do you have to raise my rent to pay for what you want? Like what?
You preaching, girl. You preaching.
It
Because
makes no
literally,
sense.
they literally be like, you have 3 weeks to decide if you're going to pay this extra $400. Or you're going to have to leave. And we're already going to rent your apartment out in those 3 weeks. So if you change your mind and say, oh, yeah, you want to sign a lease? Your place
It's
is
too
already
late.
rented out. I'm sorry.
Like what? So I'm
They
homeless either
kill me
way.
that. Literally homeless. And it's not just me. I have a baby now. So it's like, y'all really just going to put us out in the street. And they're
I
like,
don't care.
yes, sorry, but no, not sorry.
I don't care at all.
Mm-mm.
What's up? What you eat? What you think? What's your take on the housing situation?
Man, look, first of all, I'll be daggone somebody charge me $500 and I ain't got no daggone back window. You hear me? First of all. Second of all,
Looking at
um,
the wall.
I'm literally I got a kitchen in my room and the bathroom and that's it. $1,400. I'm gonna tell you
Crazy.
right now. You better knock out that whole wall and throw and get in another room and then put a balcony on that joke for $1,400.
Mm-hmm.
Man, no, that $1,400 better cover half the year. You hear me? For no all that. But anyway, the housing market
Yeah.
now, man, it's just crazy. I mean, it's just crazy, man. Like, cause I'm actually looking for another apartment now, but the one I'm in now, my rent, light, water, internet, everything together is like $500. So
Mm-hmm.
I got like a steal. Now
Yeah.
the problem with that though, that seemed good. Yeah, that seemed like, oh man, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now the issue with that is that I'm actually connected to, so like our building is like it's a four it's a 4 apartment condo, right? Everybody has their own room and their own bathroom. So we just share the common area, kitchen and the living room area. And we do have like a back balcony. Um
Mm-hmm.
the problem is that my complex has like my room is connected to the next complex, if that makes sense. So and the walls are like paper thin. Like the walls are as thin as like as your laptop screen. Like the walls are like that thin. So anytime whoever's behind me, anytime they open the door, they cough, they talk, they got a TV on, I hear everything. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that $500 may seem like it's a steal, but it's not. Um Now, as far as getting something else, everything else, I think this is. I was thinking about moving back to my old apartment. My old apartment was like 1 bedroom is like 1099, so which is not bad.
With what city?
No, this is
Yeah,
In what
Durham.
city?
Durham.
See, everybody be saying these $1,000 prices to rent. I'm not paying that to rent. That's a
Ever.
mortgage. I'm sorry.
Literally.
I pay $850 for a 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom deluxe, a duplex or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. People be hearing me say $850, they be like, what? And I'm
Right.
like, y'all crazy. I'm not paying no 4 digits to rent. You can't respectfully. Yeah, no.
Absolutely,
Go
And I think
no.
absolutely. And
with
that's the
like the
thing. Like I
RDU
do want a
area,
house.
it's crazy.
Yeah, like I do want a house, but even now the housing market, it's a what they call a
Going
buyer's market
bad.
right now. So it's a buyer's market.
That's why I haven't bought nothing. It's
Yeah,
crazy right now. They want you to pay double the price or triple for something that's not even worth it. Like
yeah.
I'm just not. The housing market is hard for renting and for buying because they are. making it real because they know people want to buy a house because they want to pay this crazy rent. So they're making these prices be so high for a house it's not even worth it. You got a white refrigerator and you want to pay me $250,000
No,
for this house?
no.
Please go to hell. No, I'm not paying that for no
Respectfully,
white refrigerator.
Yeah, exactly. And then
never.
and then the interest rates have gone up too. Because
Hmm.
pre-COVID, if you were with state employees, like pre-COVID, you can get a fixed rate for like 5%. You can go for like 4% or something like that. So you were set. And the house, whatever it was worth, is what it was worth. So if you wanted to get
Hmm.
a $100,000 house, and it was like nice back, the $100,000 house back then was like you
Yeah.
a nice house.
Yeah.
No, for real, it is because my friend got one. She got a 3 bedroom, 4 bathroom for 150,000 in
That's
Winston, and it
good.
is beautiful.
Exactly,
And this is pre-COVID.
exactly.
Now, if she want to sell her house, they
No.
say she can get 250.
Yeah, yeah.
Two
Now, like
fifty, and this
starting
was 2 years ago.
for like a two bedroom,
Wow.
two bathroom house now, it's like $300,000, and it's like
Yes,
that house was built back in 1950. You think I might pay $250,000 for
but
1950
it's
house?
bro, it's a buyer's market. That positive equity, she literally gonna get
Yeah.
100K off of selling her house, all because
Yeah.
she got it pre-COVID. She been in her house 3 years because she got it in 2020. She got it right before
Wow.
COVID started going crazy. She
Mhm.
bought the house, and literally her agent was like, "We can get 100K off top extra off of this house
Yeah.
because everybody want to buy a house. We don't want to pay that rent." I'm like, "Girl, you're gonna be 6 figures off of a
Okay.
house." All because you thought to buy a house pre-COVID. I
Okay, that was
wish I would have
smart.
bought a house pre-COVID. I wish, I
Hmm.
wish, I wish, I wish, I wish, I wish.
For real,
When you told me
man.
that,
Yeah,
girl, I could have cried.
yeah,
For real, bro. That
yeah.
was
But
smart
now,
though.
it's crazy. And honestly, it don't even unless you're with like state employees, because state employees has a program like first time home buyers.
She
Like
got state employees, first time home buyer. That's what she
yeah,
did.
Yep.
She did
Yep.
yeah.
that.
Yeah, like you
They
can
looked
still get
out.
that now, I think. And I don't think it's as bad. The interest rate is probably like more so 7, 8, 10% now. But
Yeah.
even if you look elsewhere, I mean elsewhere is like 15, 20% now and all that.
Not
So
with Navy Federal. Not Navy Federal. They got good. They got a good buyers program.
okay, well then yeah. Yes. And the reason why I know about state employees because I worked there for 4 years. So so I pretty much know state employees like, in and out. Um Well, yeah, man, this housing thing, it's like now, like I have roommates, but it's like I don't want a roommate, but you don't really have a choice. Like you don't really have a choice unless you bringing in like bank. You don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
You
You're
don't
not lying, for
like
real.
Especially in Raleigh and Durham. Yeah.
that's what I.
Yeah,
And the
if
thing about
honestly,
Durham
if I was living in
building
those
up.
areas, I would have a roommate. On God, I would have a
Yeah.
roommate. Ain't no way I'll be living by myself. Me and my daughter would be checking it with somebody else because them
Okay.
prices is crazy where y'all live at.
And the thing
Yeah.
about Durham, because I don't know if y'all know Durham, Google and Apple, they're coming to Durham, like coming to the RTP
Yeah.
area. So that's why
Yeah,
Crazy.
Durham is skyrocketing now. Prices now
Hmm.
they're making the
it's,
prices
it's
crazy.
crazy.
My homegirl used to live in Durham. She just moved to the outskirts of Raleigh, like what is it called, Clayton?
But
Hmm.
yeah,
She bought a house out there.
yeah,
She was like, it was cheaper to buy a house out there than to stay where she was at because of
yeah,
the Apple thing.
yeah. So yeah, moving out there to the country is ideal right now. The problem with moving out there to the country, you're out the way of everything. You have like nothing around you. You might have a couple gas stations, but that's it. There ain't no mall. There ain't no, ain't
Grocery
no
store.
Panera. Ain't no Chipotle. Ain't no none of that. Like you're like literally out the way. Yes, you might be saving money house wise, but gas wise, car maintenance wise, you're actually racking up more. And that's still how they get you. Either way, you're gonna pay for something. Either you're gonna pay more on gas or pay more for your mortgage. You can pay more for your car, or you're gonna pay more for your rent. Or it's always
I'd rather
like
pay
that.
on the car than the rent. A car cheaper than the rent and mortgage. So I
That's
take
what
them
I'm
little
saying.
extra coins. I
Yeah.
do it. I do that. And then plus I work from home, so
Oh, you
I still ain't
good.
spending that much because delivery. They deliver groceries. So I'm Gucci.
That is true too. That is true too.
Yeah, because of COVID, it made everything more accessible. Like
Yeah, they
working from
did.
home, I saved so much money not having to drive my car, not having to
Hmm.
put gas in it, not having to go to the grocery store like that. When I tell you order my tissue, order my paper towels, order my body wash off Amazon, I don't go to the store. I don't go nowhere. I literally, when I
Yeah.
go out places, it's because I want to, not because I have to.
Hmm.
I'll order everything delivery. They done made it so much easier.
Yeah. And sometimes it's cheaper that
Literally.
way too, though, because you can buy in bulk
It
and stuff.
is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Literally. Amazon is my grocery store.
Yeah, I like Amazon too, but I haven't bought I bought like my hair stuff from there, but I haven't bought food or nothing from there yet. But I will, because I just started buying clothes from Amazon, and I'm like, Amazon, I've been sleeping on
Girl,
Amazon.
this shirt, Amazon. What you talking about? Girl, you should have been buying stuff from Amazon.
I'm hip right now. Shoot.
Yes, okay, girl. I get clothes. I get everything. Needs, wants, all of it come from Amazon. I get all of
Yeah,
it. People
I'm on it
be
now.
talking about, you don't need to be paying it to that man, giving him money. Man, he already a billionaire. I don't care.
Literally.
My little coins ain't gonna make that much of a difference.
At all.
For
No.
real. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, I didn't know if you had anything else, because we kind of.
Nah,
We
y'all
went
y'all
on
chatting.
tangent. My bad.
Nah, yeah, y'all chatting. I'm just sitting back listening.
Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all. So that was all of my questions. Do you guys have anything to add regarding the household bills, children paying, anything else you guys want to add?
I think we touched base with
No,
everything.
yeah, no,
I
I
just
think that was everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like what we discussed on, like it's just situational. It just depends on how you was raised, your family. It just goes off of y'all background. If you feel like they need to pay bills, that's up to you. But my family be different, so
Yeah.
it just boils down to how you was raised and if your family wanna push you into the struggle or if they wanna break those generational curses.
Yeah. I agree. So thank you guys for joining my podcast. I really appreciate that. We had a good conversation.
Absolutely.
Thank
Yes,
you
yes.
for having me. I appreciate it.
Jessica, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And it's good seeing you too. I ain't seen you in about 10 years, but it's good seeing you.
It ain't been 10 years.
Absolutely. Man.
It's been a while since I seen you too, girl. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
you in
that's
a
true.
minute.
That's
It's been a
true.
couple years. I think the last time I seen you was when we went to Disney World together, girl.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah, that was the last time I seen you. We went to Disney World. That
And
was
that
the
was in
last
what,
time.
2019?
Girl,
And it's
exactly.
2023. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah, because you didn't
I'ma
come to my
change
baby
it.
shower.
That is
You didn't come to
true.
the birthday.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is
So
true.
yeah,
I be slipping. That's my fault.
because
I'm a-
I be inviting.
You
I be
do.
doing it.
I
I be
appreciate
reaching
it.
out.
I appreciate it.
I'm about to stop.
No, don't stop. I'm gonna start coming.
Because you one of the people where you like, I want to invite, but I just want to be able to say no.
You know, no. Yeah, I just be in my own world for real. For real, but I'm gonna change it though. I'm gonna see both of y'all this year. For real, for real. I'm saying this today. I'm gonna see both of y'all, okay? Y'all gonna look back on this
Girl.
podcast and be like, girl, she said it and she was here.
You
Cap.
lied.
Cap.
I'm gonna prove y'all wrong,
Right.
okay? Whatever.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Uh-huh.
Nah,
Well, that concludes
but
another.
I appreciate you having me though. Seriously, thank you.
Yeah, this is nice. I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
I appreciate y'all too, and I'm definitely gonna have y'all on again. I'm gonna try to record episodes. Like I'm trying to get to every week, but you know, at work and everything, it's like because I haven't posted a podcast an episode since like it's been a month, so I've been slipping. So we're gonna get back
Well,
on it. though.
Thursdays at 7 is always perfect for me. So
Okay.
if you ever have that available again, that works for me because my daughter goes to bed and I'm off from work by then. So it works for me. I'm always available. Anything black, I'm there for it.
Period.
That part. I'm supporting my black girls. Period.
Okay, y'all. Thank you guys again, and peace and blessings.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Y'all take care.
Bye.